What's up, Capricorn babies? If you are a Capricorn in sun, moon, rising, or pretty much have Capricorn anywhere else in your chart, and especially for millennials, because our generation has two Capricorn placements. We have two generational planets that have Capricorn in there. So we all kind of have this energy. Welcome. Welcome to all of us and to all of you. I am so excited to get into this reading. There are a lot of really great elements here. And to start, I'll just say that this is a spread that shows the thoughts, actions, behaviors, and beliefs that you need right now in this moment in time to start doing more of, stop doing because it's not serving you, continue doing because, hello, amazing job, you are already on track, as well as the obstacles or the ways that you might be blocking yourself from making these changes that are for your greatest good and for everyone's greatest good. So we've got the Voyager Tarot that's going to be joining us today. We also have the Threads of Fate Shadow deck, not Tarot Oracle deck. And then we also have Mood Tarot, which is based on the original traditional tarot, but it's very silly and it's very goofy, and you'll see that in a moment. So what we've got here are energies that you're going to need to anchor into and to harness for the next 2 to 4 weeks. So through the end of November and up until right around mid-December. So what we've got here is, well, let's just start with your continue section. The continue cards is like your cheering section. It's essentially your guides and guides and ancestors in the universe saying, great job, you are already on track. So first off, they just want to make sure that you know and that you understand before I get into this that you have amazing integrity and that you also just have this understanding of how to really align with your values and live with integrity that is very unique to Capricorns. Capricorn energy is very stubborn for that reason. Y'all are part goat for a reason. But you also have this ability, because you're part fish, to create balance and make sure that all of the values that you're aligning with are also connected into that emotional groundedness, where sometimes when we get really heady with our values, we start to get super stubborn, like I said, and we also start to get almost punishing toward other people. We might find ways to uh, like make other people feel bad for the values that we have, because if we intellectualize our values so much, then we might start to gain this sort of like superiority complex. And I'm speaking from a generational standpoint right now because that's how I understand Capricorn energy. That's, a generation that I'm a part of has two Capricorn placements. So when I tap into Capricorns, I'm like, yeah, we might be like ethically superior and superior in our values, but also are we if we're not leading from those places with empathy? And that is a really big note in this whole reading, because there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a balance that's created so that we can continue making sure that, like, our masculine and feminine, or our dominant and submissive, our order and our chaos, get to have this meeting in the middle that is healthy and healing, and can have this shedding of the skin, this constant cycle of rebirth. So we're never just staying stagnant in our pillars, in our spiritual understanding of what is right and what is wrong. what is good and what is evil. We can start to see the nuance in things, but also continue to own those values with strength. And I say with strength because the next cards that we have are the stop cards. Now, here is where the turn comes, and I'm just giving you a heads up, Capricorn, because I have already looked at this spread, and I know that this might be a hard message to hear. And I just want to preface it with, this comes with so much love, and this comes to you like you're watching this right now because you're aligned with making these changes. So your guides, your ancestors, God, universe, whatever you believe in, believes in you and your capacity for changing for the better. So whatever you take from this that feels like, owie, but I hear you, there's a truth in there, that feels spiritually more clean, more good than, some of the ways that you've been showing up before, then that's awesome and amazing. And that's what you're meant to take away from this. All right. So, stop cards. We've got the Explorer here, which has a compass. And usually I think about this as like very multifaceted, but I really was tuning into how there is just the eye and the heart on here. So I'm feeling that sort of polarity, that sort of just two-sidedness, again, with like almost a good evil sort of spin. And then we also have the Strength card, which is a feminine figure saying, now let's get that demon out of you. And the lion, whose mouth is being pried open so a demon can escape, is saying, I hate you, pretty bitch. So this card in Mood Tarot is also called, in case you didn't notice, not killing shit. So the message that I really got from these two cards being in your stop position is acknowledging that when you have such strong values, you might believe that your way is the right way. And, we hear a lot like my way or the highway. But I think Capricorn takes it to another level because y'all just want to help. Like, y'all just want to take action as soon as you see something happen. Y'all just want to take the path of least resistance, which is what the sea goat is all about. It's like, if I have to climb a mountain and that's the path of least resistance, then that's what I'm going to do. Or if that's going to get me to where I actually need to be, is what I should be saying. Because it's not all least resistance. Sometimes you have to choose a path that is more challenging because it's the right path. Again, with aligning with your values, okay? So I'll redact what I said about least resistance, and I'll just say the correct path for the situation at hand. And every situation is unique. So maybe the Capricorn is like, I am going to go straight up that mountain, or I'm going to jump into the river knowing I'm just going to be able to flow right there and help as soon as I can, take action as soon as I can. The thing about taking action and helping others is you might be causing them more harm than healing. And I know that that's some of you might be like, oh God, I hate this message. I already understand what's going on. And some of you might be like, what the fuck do you mean? If you're helping somebody, how could you be hurting them? So imagine that you're a superhero and you come in to save the city from this big bad, and the folks around there are, screaming out for help and are trying to manage it on their own, but just aren't quite getting it. And you end up wrecking the fucking city in an attempt to kill the big bad. And then you leave and they are left with the wreckage. They're left with the damage. That is how you can harmfully help somebody. When in actuality, some folks just need you to come and hold their hand. Some folks just need you to come and lift them up and be the one that helps them fly and helps them harness their own superpowers and their own capabilities so that you can be that gentle nudge and that gentle encouragement for them to beat their big bad. Because that's more empowering than you coming in and solving their problem every time. I'm going to come in and solve your fucking problem for you. You're welcome. I know that for me, I have done that in so many times in the past where I'm like, I'm just going to do what I think is best for everybody. Because my ethics and my morals are all the way up here. And I can't trust everybody else to be where I'm at. When you lose faith in other people's capacity for having integrity, for doing what's right for them, then you not only miss out on cultivating relationship that is a beautiful, mutually compassionate and empathetic exchange and connection, but you also, like I said, you take away other people's capacity and autonomy sometimes for doing things themselves and starting to feel that empowered sense of like, oh, I could solve this. I could take care of myself. I could be the one to climb the mountain or to jump in the river and just fight my way across the stream, or find my way down a waterfall and into a new place which is better than this one. And I didn't know I could do it without your help. But the fact of the matter is, you can't be the one to shove them in the river and be like, that's where you need to go. You're welcome. You can't just load them up with all this baggage and send them up a mountain. That's not how it's going to happen. That's not the best way to help people. So essentially, stop taking away other people's power and strength, their force, from essentially forcing them to allow you to help them just because helping people feels good. You feeling good about helping other people is not the best reason to let other people be helped by you. To make other people let you help them. Okay, so you are going to have to stop seeing your way as the right way and the best way from this place. You're going to have to drop into the heart and start to tune into all of those possibilities. And I know that because in your start position, we've got the Ace of Wands. Look at all those possibilities radiating out from the center. And Wands is spiritual energy. Wands is a spiritual card. So this is like an energetic release for you to just let go of control, let go of needing to be right or needing to know the best way to do something, and start to see how you might be blocking yourself. Here's an obstacle card here. See how you might be blocking yourself from the best possible relationships that you could possibly have. And this is what's blocking you. 8 of Crystals. Crystals is swords in traditional tarot. And the Synthesis card comes as an 8 to remind us that we can create with others just as beautifully as we can create on our own. So if you come in and you try to solve things without even asking people how they would like to be helped, then that's not synthesis. That's just forcing your will and forcing your own ideology on other people. I know it's hard to hear. I love you so much. You've got this. I believe in you. Because there's also, in your start position, the Queen Bitch of Mind Bullets, who is the Queen of Swords. Now, both of these, Crystal represents swords in this tarot, and Mind Bullets also represents swords. So we've got your obstacle here, which is trying to create by yourself and not synthesize with other people, and not taking other people's natural strengths and learning what their values are so you can find ways to help them and connect with them in ways that align with their values and their way of being and their integrity. But also start to realize that instead of coming from that like forceful slamming into buildings superhero masculine energy, you can come from that queenie side. You can come from that feminine energy and that submissiveness of like, what do I desire out of this? If I want to help people because it feels good to help people, then what else do I need to connect with in this desire? Do I want to help people in such a way that they feel so good that they tell me thank you at the end and they appreciate me? Do I just want to help people because I want them to owe me a favor? You have to get into that sort of submissive state of recognizing, like, I need to understand my own desires before I can go and celebrate and uplift and support other people's desires and other people's needs. So I want you to think of this message as, like I said, an I believe in you, go get 'em sport, but also as a pivot point, because you can step back and take a look at all of your values, align with them, talk with yourself, have a conversation about what that looks like for you, maybe even create a list, like, what do my values look like in action? What does authenticity look like in action? What does respect look like in action? What does integrity look like in action? What does empathy and love and trust and patience and faithfulness look like in action, in word? What does it look like for me to show up in that way? And then drop from the look like into the feel like. What does it feel like for me? And how do I want other people to feel when they encounter my very sturdy, very spiritually aligned integrity and values? You've got this. I know that was a lot, but I'm going to leave you with that. And if you would like more, if this wasn't actually enough for you and you want your own specific spin on this so that you understand specific thoughts, behaviors, actions, beliefs that are catered to you and are unique to you, that you need to kind of pay attention to, start, stop, continue, and what might be blocking you specifically, I would love to do a private reading for you. Those are linked below. And if you feel like you can't afford one right now, I used to do something in 2023 for a few months called Free 2023, where I was just doing card readings for free for people. So I am so excited to sort of create another dynamic that allows that to happen, which is on my Patreon. Just for $5 a month, you can be a part of that Patreon community and have a chance to get a free reading. I do a raffle every single month for those people who are in that group. So you might get a free reading out of, the month or a couple months that you are in there, getting to enjoy the community and also potentially learning a lot more about yourself, which is the goal. The goal here, right? To grow and to become a better partner to yourself, as well as partner and relationship manager with others. And I feel like that's a very Capricorn way of saying it, but relationships are things that we have to manage, that we have to pay attention to in both a this way and a this way. So I hope, Capricorn, that you have found some balance in this reading. And I would love to hear your thoughts. Please let me know in the caption. If you want to hear more, I'm going to be doing these every month, so you can go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And I'll see you next time. I love you so much. Mwah! You're deserving of all the love you desire. Mwah, 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 mwah. Okay, that's enough.